Alright guys, yesterday I tweeted out and I said, look, I think Vertcoin can be $100 by the end of December. Now, I'm just going to explain why I think that. A couple guys were really hyped by that. Quite a few people asking me, why do you think that? And then there's a whole bunch of people just thinking, this dickhead. Look, I understand, and I'm just going to take this chance and say, look, this is why I think it's going to happen. So, right now, there's a whole bunch of major catalysts that are taking shape. We've got Ethereum that may be moving to proof of stake, so you have this huge amount of hash power that's going to be looking for a new home. We also have the optimized GPUs that are going to be coming out soon from these gaming card manufacturers. Then on top of that, so that's just in relation to the mining. Now we have a huge body of very cautious money out there just waiting to be able to move on something. Now this isn't a small amount of money. There is some big things going on. So we've got hedge funds, we've got high net worth individuals, we've got firms and corporations all sort of sniffing about looking for something that they can get involved in. Now these guys are too smart to jump on the latest ICO craze. I mean, some of them, yeah, they're participating, but they're getting in at the very early seed stages, and they're basically able to, you know, get hold of something, grab an allocation, and then flip it for, like, you know, 5-10 times. Now, they are not going to be buying your ICOs at 10 times the valuation. That's not just going to happen. Why? Well, because the teams behind the ICOs, they don't know what they're doing. It's very questionable if they can actually deliver. I don't think they can. And we're starting to see them take the piss with the funds. So, you know, we've got guys that are managing, like, you know, $200 million projects. They have no experience in that field. They haven't fucked up. They haven't made some huge mistakes. And they haven't felt that sort of gravity when it comes to handling such a big project. So, quite frankly, I don't think... I think like 95% of them aren't going to be able to make it. This smart money knows that. They're not going to pump your ICO bags. There are very few ICOs that are going to do extremely well in the next coming months. Now, in saying that, we've also got a lot of money behind some of these larger market cap coins. Now, a lot of that money is starting to get stagnant. So we have bought things that we thought are going to do really well. We're waiting for that alt season. And some of these things just aren't taking off. They're continuing to bleed. Now, some of them are on major support lines that it's starting to, you know, starting to get a little interesting now. Like, you know, some guys see this as an opportunity to get in. Other guys are starting to sweat it out. Now, I've been buying a lot of these higher market caps, and I've been anticipating this huge alt movement, and I'm starting to get a little bit nervous myself. So I've reduced some of these positions. Some of them are at a profit. A few of them are at a loss. Now, you've got a lot of that money that's sitting up in these larger market caps, and what's going to happen here, something that we've seen before, we've seen this a number of times. We've seen it with Litecoin, we've seen it with Ethereum, and we've seen it with Ripple. What happens when something really starts to get traction and begins bubbling, it actually sucks the life out of a lot of these other coins. Now, when you've seen, you know, 3 coins that I've just mentioned really start to go parabolic, people have just started selling their other coins to get involved in the next best thing. Now, I sort of feel like once something starts to really shine in the scene, people are going to then go ahead and participate in that. So if you have funds locked up in something and it's not really working, I sort of feel like a lot of people will do what we've seen in the past here. Now, I'm also thinking about what we've seen in Litecoin in 2013. Now, Litecoin was, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of sense behind it. I mean, there was nothing amazing about Litecoin, like Litecoin's a rock, but Bitcoin had just come off a major tear, and everybody was looking for the next best thing. Now, the thing with Litecoin, it sort of had this bit of a stigma about it, like it's Bitcoin silver. So Bitcoin, I think Litecoin started about 4 cents. It then shot up to $4. It bounced about, and then it just went apeshit. It went to 12, 16, 24, 28, 32, 40, 50, 60 bucks up to on BTC, I think, and it was just crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Now, the whole scene was involved in this. Like, everybody in crypto was like piling themselves into Litecoin, and it didn't make any sense. but everyone was doing it. Now I sort of feel like that is coming around again. I don't exactly know what it is. I have a feeling that it may be one of these things that we're already looking at. I feel like, if anything, Vertcoin has huge potential to be that next thing. Now, in Litecoin's case, it was Bitcoin Silver, and I think that's what just drove everybody crazy. Now, in Vertcoin's case, it is the, an improved version of Bitcoin. It's like, what Bitcoin was supposed to be. Now, as we're seeing a lot of these issues with mining cartels, brand dilution, scalability issues through Bitcoin, Vertcoin has none of that. It has a very, very tight community. As you've seen the past couple of days, there was this was massive advertising for Vertcoin. When everything was selling off, when Bitcoin made that move, Vertcoin stood strong. Now, the whole entire crypto scene saw that. That was massive. I know a lot of these guys had their eyes on some very particular levels, and I know they're trying to buy this dip right now. They're trying to buy this dip because they want in on the action. Now that's telling me something. That's telling me some of the smarter guys in the scene have recognized the potential here, and they want to get involved. It's going to be very interesting. I'm very excited. Just be aware, like, this isn't, I'm not saying to go out there and, throw everything into Vertcoin. I want you to be extremely careful. If you're going to participate in this wild speculation, which is exactly what it is fucking crazy. I recommend doing so with, something you're very happy to lose. Like, if you're going to walk up to the roulette table and throw 50 bucks down, you sure as shit better be ready to lose that. And that's the sort of money I'm talking about here. Don't go taking unnecessary risks. So with that in mind, let's have some fun. Let's see what happens coming into this new year, and let's get excited because there's so many cool things happening within the crypto space. Alright guys, quick price update before I go and put this video out there. Now, we wicked up to about $4.80, $5 on some exchanges last night. We've since crashed back down. I know a lot of guys had bids about $3.20. It's blown through that, touched $2.80, and then wicked down to about $2.50, $2.60. Now, looking at things, if we do break under $2.50, I think the next area that we are going to see is $1.80, and then I sort of feel like it invalidates this whole parabolic move. Now, if it doesn't, if $2.60 holds and it continues to move upwards, I can see us being able to challenge the $6, $7 by the end of the week if things really start to get moving. I think a lot of people are going to be keeping a close eye on this. It has a lot of renewed interest since that whole since that massive advertising spree that we had through everything going red, and then BTC is just green, green, green. I think, yeah, now it's got that interest, it's got that attention to it that it sort of needs to be able to develop into this. We still sort of feel like all those major catalysts are there, and if anything has a chance to really go for it this season and this move, it is going to be Vertcoin. So guys, I'm really excited to see where this goes. If it doesn't go and start forming into this parabola, it's going to, I think it's going to go back to sleep. It's going to turn into one hell of a nasty weekly / monthly wick. Okay, so here's how I think it's going to play out. I think we're going to see a lot of the mining power sort of shift over to the Vertcoin chain. Around about the same time, a lot of the retail crypto speculators are going to get on board. That is then going to gather the interest of some of the bigger players, anybody that missed their bids in the era that we are now. I think they're going to chase it up to about the $14 mark. Once that's the case, I think a lot of the other projects that aren't really moving, I think people start to sell off some of their coins to get involved in this if it is going to go parabolic. And around about the same time as that is taking shape, that's where I see a lot of the larger money really start to push this thing, if they're not already involved. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. Now, the thing is, we're already at about $130 million market cap. Now, some people say, well, that's quite large. If you compare it to back in the day when, you've got $130,000 market cap, and we're then able to move those things up to $700,000 to, $2.3, $2.4 million sort of thing. That's the equivalent. I mean, there's a hell of a lot more money involved. It's just the same, we've scaled up now. So if we are going to start getting the ball rolling, it's going to happen very quickly, and that's just how I think it's going to play out anyway. had a couple of people ask me about this tutorial that I'll be putting out about how to set up like a pro crypto trader. I'm just going through and editing it now. Had a whole bunch of like crazy family shit go down the past week. It's sort of like throwing me off my schedule. But yeah, I'm doing my best to like get that together now. So just give me a couple more days and I'll have it out. Anyway, yeah, subscribe. Tell me what you think. This was sort of my first shot at really doing like YouTube videos. I want to do more. I want to like provide more information, more opinions, and just sort of get out there into that whole crypto sphere, which I haven't done for a couple of years, and it's sort of exciting now.